And hello to you all, it's Michael Marshall here. I just thought, because I've spoken to many people about how a blind person would go about reading a script, obviously without sight, and a lot of people seem to be very fascinated. So I thought I would take out this brief opportunity to do you a little demonstration. Now, I'm using my phone for the reading today, and the reason I'm doing that is because this microphone, the Rode NT USB, I highly recommend it. It doesn't always pick up the screen reader from my actual Macintosh external speakers. So I'm going to use the phone because I can hold it right up to the Rode NT and give you an idea of how a script works. So, for those who don't know, a screen reader is essentially a program that will take written text on the screen and convert it into speech, which is read by a synthetic voice. And you can get a great deal of synthetic voices. Some are better than others. There are some that sound, it's not like the old days, whereas in the 80s and probably up to the mid-90s or so, a lot of the voices were very robotic, or they would speak like this, and you could barely understand them, and they sounded so unbelievably alien that it was almost unbearable. And the competition has become a lot greater now with different screen reader groups and all this kind of thing. So this is how it works. So I have my iPhone in front of me, and I have a little script for internet security. Sorry, so I'm just doing this so that my arms don't block anything in the view. I'm using QuickTime on a Mac to do this little demonstration. So I'm going to read a little bit of the script by swiping right on the phone. I've slowed down the screen reader so you can get an understanding of what it sounds like. Obviously, I read it a lot quicker, but many people can't understand the really quick tone. So we'll have a little look and we'll read a little bit of this internet security script and I'll show you how I do things.
Has changed the internet.
Okay, just getting to the top. Here we go.
Internet has changed the way we live, from shopping and banking to connecting with friends and catching up with the news.
So I read this, and if I'm sitting at my computer doing an audition for the Voice Realm or something like that, I would say, the internet has changed the way we live, from communicating with friends to catching up with the news. And then I'll read the next line of the script.
But with so many activities done online, it has become easier for hackers to get access to your personal information.
But with so many activities done online, it has become even easier for hackers to gain access to your information. So, you have the script here, and you can keep going through. Now, there are advantages to this. There are also disadvantages. If you have a very emotive script with a lot of exclamation marks or other things that people put in, sometimes they can be missed. So you do have to sometimes turn your punctuation to all and actually have a look and see what is there. Now, obviously, if I'm at a studio, I like to have the producer with me in the booth so I can go line by line that way, so I can get the producer's tone. Now, this also can be disadvantageous, because if the producer gets the wrong tone and you recite the tone and get the script wrong, that's more and more retakes, or even, as I found with one audition, lost work. So it's sort of, you still do have to really learn how to read the scripts and all that and work it out. I'm fairly new to the game, so I'm still improving and learning day by day the more I read of different script types. We'll do one more little line of this, so we'll swipe to the right, although I've got the phone facing the other way, so it's really to the left, really.
In fact, 35% of people have at least one unprotected device, leaving them vulnerable to the risk of a cyber attack.
In fact, 35% of people have at least one unprotected device, leaving them vulnerable to a cyber attack. Now, this may not be exactly the right tone for this particular script. You might want to make it more, at least 35% of people have at least one unsecured device. Like sort of, grip your heart and squeeze it kind of fear reading, this kind of thing. That's sort of how I did the read, though. A bit of a mix of the two. So I hope this demo, as rough and ready as it is, has given anyone who may be curious about blind people and script reading sort of an idea that you don't necessarily need sight to do it. It can be very helpful if you can sight read and read a few words ahead and get the idea of the emotive element that you need to produce. Obviously, it's very helpful. But there certainly are ways of compensating for this. And basically, when I rang my first studio, which was called Bang Bang Studios in Melbourne, I basically rang them up and I didn't know how they would take it. And I didn't know how I would take it because I was still sort of coming to grips with it all and starting to make my first steps in voiceover. But all you can do is have a go. That's the realisation I came, and there are obviously days where as a VO, you sort of think, oh yeah, it's not really working, your reads aren't good, you're not getting anything. But there's a lot more to it than that. And you just have to plug away at it. And I've found many things that I did at the beginning that didn't work in terms of reading and using my technology, things that I've put by the wayside, other things that I've taken on. I can use the screen reader for sound editing and all this kind of thing. I use Amadeus Pro. Pro Tools is the industry standard, and although there have been some strides in accessibility, it's not at the level that I would like to have with Amadeus. I can do multi-tracking, I can do all kinds of funny little things that you still can't really do with Pro Tools, but I digress. This demo is just to give you a little idea, and I'm sure one day I'll be popping up with another video, maybe another aspect of the industry that I enjoy, or maybe even something I don't like. Maybe I could make this a regular thing and do a bit of vlogging on my dive into the voiceover industry. And I hope this has been interesting and, I hate the word, educational and all this kind of thing. And I will be signing off now. This is Michael Marshall saying good day.